I did realize so much. I did. I was really good, and then I got my card.
Just don't be up here, like drop it and leave. Like that's what I told you. Like you spend way too much time and you just need to leave.
Yeah, I think that would have happened for us all day until 7. They separated us, so
That's right.
that's what I'm watching. Like, they literally said to me, now say goodbye. And I was like, wait, what? They're like, yep, say goodbye. She's going to be out here, and you'll see her tomorrow morning at 10. I was like, oh my God. No. That would have been, I would have been there.
Most of us, if not all of us, have heard this little phrase, while the cat's away, the mice will play. In fact, I heard some of that about my sabbatical. I don't think you guys really did it. Maybe, I don't know. There were no pictures to prove it. But have you ever wondered, like, what happens when you're away? It's not the cat, and the cat is still home. What does your furry little friend do while you are absent? Have you thought about that? Right? Yeah. So, The Secret Life of Pets. How many of you have seen the movie? Okay, 2. 3. Yeah. Okay, so The Secret Life of Pets gives us some insight into that. It gives us a glimpse into that secret. So, Here's the basic scenario. We'll get into more of it later. Max, who's the star of the show, is a terrier. Okay, he's living the good life. He's living in this apartment in New York City, and his owner, Katie, just loves and adores Max, and he has everything that he possibly could want in his life. And mostly, Max's days are pretty mundane. Pretty much what Max does most days is just sit by the door for 8 hours and stare at it, waiting for Katie to come back. I'm sure that's what my dog does too. No, he doesn't. In another apartment, you see Chloe. For those of you who are cat lovers, Dan, you all know what your cat does, right? We know most cats sleep, but Chloe does not sleep during the day. Chloe goes into the fridge and just eats everything. Well, actually, Chloe spends half of the day trying to resist the temptation to eat everything in the fridge, and then the second half of the day just consuming everything in there. And then there's the building's bulldog, Mel. And he does what my dog used to do, chase squirrels. Do any of you have dogs that do that? Sit by the window and just, yeah, that's what Mel does. Sometimes, that's mostly their routine, but sometimes things get a little bit more intense. So a prime example of that is what starts the movie off, when Katie comes home to Max's apartment and introduces Max to Max's new brother, Duke. Duke's a rescue dog. Katie has a soft heart. Katie adopted Duke and brings Duke home from the shelter. And you can about imagine Max is not thrilled with this. So Max and Duke have this little thing. They go back and forth trying to get, the upper hand in who's like alpha dog. And then things get really bad. And through a turn of events, which we'll talk about later, all of a sudden both of them are outside on their own, without their collars, no ID, captured by animal control, and things go down from there. So to give you an idea of what The Secret Life of Pets is all about, and I'm going to tell you now, you may not want to go to the theater to watch this one. It's really funny, but you might want to wait for it to be released on DVD or see Kurt. No, we don't have one of these. or unless you need air conditioning, then theaters are air conditioned, and that's good. So here's, it's cute, but $12.
Bye, Gidget. So long, Mel.
Bye,
So long, Mel.
See you later, Chloe. Max, I'll see you tonight.
Ever wonder what your pets think about?
Oh, I miss her so much.
Got my phone.
Oh, I miss her so much.
What they talk about?
Hey fellas, how's it going? Hey fellas, how's it going?
And what they do when we're not home.
Any plans today?
Look at my plans. It's all laid out. Right here.
That ball of fluff's got a screw loose.
Max, this is Duke. He's going to be your brother.
Robin, I got a bad situation.
I'm your friend, and as your friend, I gotta be honest with you, I don't care about you or your problems.
This is my apartment now, and my new bed. Oh, dude, Katie's gonna be so upset when she sees that. Katie's gonna flip out. It's just one vase. Is it, Duke? Is it? Oh, that's a shame.
Hi, Max. Who's your new roommate?
He's gonna be gone soon. Hey, Max! So long. What's going on here? Oh my gosh, what happened to you? Hey!
Max is gone? Where is Max? Tell me.
Help me!
Don't look at him. Look at me.
Bust you out of here!
Just ignore what just happened, okay?
I told you, friend.
Okay, if you have a rabbit, we're just sorry. I'm going to just say that up front. You will never look at your rabbit the same way. Okay, Tammy's going to get us started with our call to worship and opening prayer.
Good morning. Your part would be in yellow. Right. From the ends of the earth, we are gathered together. The poor, the rich, the joyful and the sorrowful, the honored and the despised. All are gathered in one community, reflecting the love and light of God. We have come from many worlds. Let us worship God as one. Please join me in our opening prayer. O thou, fount of life, from whom flow springs of vitality and health, as we celebrate our worship, may our sorrows be lifted, our joys engaged, our hopes energized, that our living may reflect the beauties of freshness, wholeness, and love divine. Amen.
Okay, it's singing time. Stand on up.
sometimes my life just don't make sense at all. And the mountains look so big, and my faith just seems so small. So Lord Jesus, as I'm shaking my belief, you've been my King of glory, won't you be my Prince of Peace? Wake up in the night, feel the dark. It's so hard inside my soul, I swear there must be blisters on my heart. So Lord Jesus, as I'm shaking my belief, you've been my King of glory, won't you be my Prince of Peace? So let it come natural to me. For something I don't really want, to take what you're giving me. I put my head against so many walls, now I'm falling down, I'm falling on my knees. And the Salvation Army band is playing this hymn, and your grace rings out so deep, it makes my resistance seem so thin. So Lord Jesus, as I'm shaking my belief, you've been my King of glory, won't you be my Prince of Peace? Singing Lord Jesus, as I'm shaking my belief, you've been my King of glory, won't you be my Prince of Peace?
And I'll have a seat. And children, this is your chance to go with Kate and Brooklyn. For a fun-filled time of children of worship. And Tammy is going to share with us our reading for the day.
Reading for the day, Luke 5:17 through 20. One day, when Jesus was teaching, Pharisees and legal experts were sitting nearby. They had come from every village in Galilee and Judea, and from Jerusalem. Now the power of the Lord was with Jesus to heal. Some men were bringing a man who was paralyzed, lying on a cot. They wanted to carry him in and place him before Jesus, but they couldn't reach him because of the crowd. So they took him up on the roof and lowered him in, cot and all, through the roof tiles, into the crowded room in front of Jesus. When Jesus saw their faith, he said, "Friend, your sins are forgiven." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
So ventured into the land of social media, and I know most of you have because I see you there, you know that oftentimes what's trending on any given day are animals, right? Those cute little videos or pictures or graphics of fuzzy little cats or cute little dogs or any kind of animal or pet doing outrageous things. And I know you guys are into that because I know you, Journey. And I know that once we go, you know, October rolls around and we do the blessing of the pets, like it's a big day here at Journey because we take pride in our animals and we love our animals and they're like family to us. And so we get into this whole looking at, you know, pictures and gazing, oh, that's so doggone cute. But usually when we think of our pets, we think of ourselves as the trainers, right? And the animals as the learner. Except for, like, I was telling somebody earlier, in my house these last 2 weeks, my dog has me trained to get up at 6 a.m. Oh, God, he's killing me slowly. Anyway, The Secret Life of Pets, this whole movie, I think reverses that. And we get a glimpse into the lives of what happens, you know, when we go out. And there are some lessons here for us to learn from this crew of furry friends. So as promised, let me set the stage for those of you who did not see the movie, okay? The movie opens innocently and funny enough. It's showing us several scenes of different pets acting in ways that would surprise us, if not horrify us, if we were home. For example, there's a little Dachshund who uses the mixer to rub his back. Didn't know it was possible. And then here's Chloe cleaning out the refrigerator. So, you know, like if we saw that in person, and I think some of us, if we saw what our animals did during the day, we would be mortified. But then it launches into the story. We see Max. Max is an incredibly lovable terrier. And like I said earlier, he has everything, like his life is just posh. He's living in this building. He has an owner who just adores him. All the other pets come over to Max's place during the day when their owners are gone, and they play games and they have all sorts of fun. And everything goes fine until Duke arrives on the scene. And Duke and Max become rivals, and both of them taking turns kind of tricking the other one into submission. You saw a little part of it in the clip where Max starts to destroy things in the apartment and blames it on the new guy, Duke. Well, in an attempt to get rid of Max once and for all, Duke engages in this kind of all-out trick. And what happens is, at the end of the trick, not only is Max out in the cold without his collar and ID, but so is Duke. And it isn't long before animal control, always the bad guys in the movie, come along and capture them both and put them in this big truck where they're going to go now off to the dog pound, which for any animal is like the worst thing ever possible. At that point, we are introduced to this other group of animals who live down in kind of like the underground of the city in the sewer system. They're called the flush pets, which I think is kind of, I guess, kid humor. Anyway, the little rabbit is the leader of the flush pets. Now, the flush pets have all been abandoned by their owners. And so they have rallied together underground and they have like this gang, okay? This is where things start to get a little interesting. Anyway, Snowball, who is, the name does not fit Snowball at all. Snowball's an angry little buddy, comes to release one of the other dogs that has been captured by animal control, this big vicious thing. And in the process decides that he will also release Max and Duke if they come and be part of the gang of animals that lives underground. So they agree, and everybody's released, and they all go underground. And then there's this gang initiation ritual that Max and Duke have to be a part of, and things go terribly wrong with that. And they escape from the underground, and now it's a chase scene. Because meanwhile, Max's friends back home, who used to go to his apartment and hang out every day, realize he's gone, and they have kind of banded together to try to find Max. They don't care so much about Duke. But at the same time, the underground animals want Max and Duke, and animal control wants Max and Duke. So there's all these chase scenes. It's a high-energy movie. If you're going to bring kids, don't worry. Their short little attention spans will be just fine, because it's non-stop action. But in all of this, there's this journey. intentional. It's a journey, and a journey of enlightenment for animals, and obviously all of us as humans who are watching in. And we know that the reason we do this little movie series every year is to talk about where we find God in the movies. And I know when I went to see Secret Life of Pets, I'm like, I don't know God in this one, I'm not sure. But there are some lessons that I think we can all learn from this cute little movie. Lessons particularly in friendship. Lessons in acceptance. And I think in the final scenes of the movie, without any spoilers, there is a lot of lessons on the power that love has to beat hate and anger almost every time. So let's look at the first one, a lesson in real friendship. When Max and Duke go missing, there's this little Pomeranian named Gidget. Gidget is so adorable. Now you think, when you think of this fluffy little furball, white, like, when you see a dog like that, what do you think? Yeah, it's so cute, right? And pretty much Gidget, when we meet her in the beginning, she's one of those dogs who just kind of sits on her fluffy pillow all day and just kind of, like fluffy little dogs do. But all of a sudden, well, you need to know about Gidget that she's also secretly in love with Max. So when Max goes missing, she turns into kind of a dog with a mission. And she forms this team of people who are going to go rescue Max and Duke along the way. She gets Chloe, remember the cat, involves Chloe the cat. Even though Chloe, when you saw her on the clip, what did she say in her true cat attitude? What did she say about their friendship? I have to acknowledge that you are my friend, but I also have to be honest with you that I don't care. How many of you have cats? That's exactly what they do, right? I do not care. But anyway, Gidget is able to kind of transform even Chloe to go along on this mission. She gets the bird, who has kind of the vulture, who has this tendency to eat everything and everyone, but transforms him to make him part of the team. And then recruits Pops as the leader of the team, because Pops is the one who has wisdom. Pops, as you can see, maybe not, is a disabled dog, missing the hind leg, so has the little wheels to get him around. And off they go on an adventure. This is a part that I think there's some similarities. Now stick with me a little bit here, it's a stretch, I know. But to that story that Tammy just read for us, right? These friends bring this disabled man to Jesus to be healed. They're on a mission. They get there, there's huge crowds around. They can't get in through the door. So what do? They're creative. They climb up to the roof, kind of make a hole in the roof, and lower their friend down. There's some of that kind of friendship here. Real deep friendship that will go the extra mile to care for the one that they love. It's real friendship. It's not superficial kind of acquaintance kind of friendship. It's the kind of friendship that I think, I hope we can instill here in this faith community. It's like one of our core values, right? Authentic relationships. So that hopefully we're not that kind of church that where people come on Sunday morning and just kind of smile and nod at each other and pretend everything is perfect and then go home back to our problems without anybody knowing it. We have authentic relationships. That's our goal, where we share deeply with each other and we come to each other's aids. So there's that. There's also in the movie a lesson on forgiveness. Because now remember, Max and Duke are fighting, right? And they have done everything to each other to try to get rid of the other one. So they're thinking that Katie will somehow get mad at one of them and get rid of them, or they'll trick another one into getting rid of them. And so there's this intense rivalry. An interesting thing happens when they're on the run. When you're on the run, you kind of join forces, right? You can't be fighting anymore. And so there's this sense of forgiveness that goes on between Max and Duke, who finally find that they have common ground and that they're better together. So we're not going to spend a long time on that, but forgiveness, basic Christian principle. Getting over the baggage of the past, we talked a little bit about that last week, letting go and moving on. And then the final lesson that I think is a lesson in acceptance. Because as you watch the movie and you see all of these underground pets, who have severe anger issues. You kind of look at them and go like, I don't know if I'd want to hang out with those guys. They're not really nice pets at all. But there's this scene at the very end where Snowball, the angry little rabbit, after saving everyone from destruction, gets to a point where she's kind of laying in the middle of the road, and she's, well, I'll let you watch it. I think let's watch the clip. You can see the first part of it is after Snowball saves everybody, but then focus on the second part of the clip and you can see what happens.
I feel heroic and handsome. A little wet, but I still look good. I look good.
Yay, funny!
Jab, jab, jab. Body blow, body blow. Breakaway move.
Aww.
What's going on? What's she doing?
Bunny, I'm gonna love you forever and ever and ever. Aww, Bunny.
Isn't that cute? Okay. So there's this sense of even those that are on the outside are kind of loved back into the family. I don't know if any of you remember. There's a chapter in 1 Corinthians right before the love chapter. Love is faithful, love is kind. What we hear at weddings all the time. But right before that, in chapter 12, there is a reading about all of us being the body of Christ. And some of us are the ears, and some of us are the eyes, and some of us are the big toes. And in that passage, what's interesting is that there's a little verse that talks about how in the family, in the body, we treat people who are more fragile with extra love and extra respect, because we know that they're fragile, and so they're an important part of the body. We treat them with extra special love and kindness. And perhaps I think that's the biggest lesson, at least that I got out of this whole movie, is that whole thing that we do in the United Church of Christ. No matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you're welcome here. And particularly when it comes to people who feel like they might be on the outside and they might be unloved. We are here to love them back into the body and all become one. So there's a little Secret Life of Pets. If you get a chance, go see the movie. It's a cute little thing. But I challenge you to kind of think of those three lessons. The lessons about friendship, the lessons about forgiveness, the lessons about acceptance and love winning. And particularly as we look forward to the fall, which one of those do you kind of want to claim as your mission this fall? Which one maybe needs the most work, or which one do you want to kind of strengthen? I mean, is there's somebody out there, that you just need to kind of forgive? Is there a sense that, you could maybe be more authentic with people here in worship and build deeper relationships? Like you're kind of like, oh, I know that person sitting over at that table, but I don't really know them well. Maybe I can get to know them a little bit better. Or is there somebody out there in your life who just as right now an outsider that needs to be kind of loved back into the body? So as we think about that challenge, and as you accept that challenge for the fall, we are going to go into prayer, and I'm going to invite you, maybe you want to even pray for one of those people as we light our candles. So start with me with our responsive call to prayer. Holy God, as you have touched us, and so we take the flame and we light our care candles for ourselves, for those named or remembered, and in solidarity with those who cannot express their concern or celebration. The candle table feels very far away today. A mission. So if you have a joy or a concern to share, please.
I would like everybody to pray for my son Alexander, who had a rough beginning to the summer back in school, turning 21 as only a 21-year-old male child could have. Summer got progressively better, sounds like an adult as he left college yesterday. I pray that it continues.
Couple years of freshman
What? You're there.
A couple prayers. My grandson left for Jacksonville, Florida for school. It's a Division I school. He's so excited. So let's pray that he stays safe and he stays focused. Pete will be having surgery again in October, but right now he is in research.
Not nuts, I had to bring my phone for this one because it was a request from somebody else. Most of you remember Nikki and Randy. I got a request from Nikki. We ask all the folks at Journey to pray for my new niece. She was born last Friday. She had surgery on Saturday for a large brain aneurysm. Today they will do another surgery on her brain, so can you ask everyone to pray for this little angel? It's her sister's 5th granddaughter, and I've seen on Facebook since then a week without wires. So,
What's her name, Andrew?
I don't know.
Okay. Sorry.
That was what I got.
Maybe
So last weekend I was at 2 weddings, so congratulations for the marriage of Caroline and Christopher. Caroline's my cousin, and my goddaughter Anna and her Patrick, and apparently they've also got a little one on the way.
First concern, my friend Cole's daughter Stephanie is going through chemo right now and she's not tolerating it well. And he has to go back and forth between Cincinnati, Ohio and Long Island. And thank you so much for prayers for me and my testing. Continued prayers because I have been diagnosed with low-grade non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I will be going to Sloan for a second opinion and a biopsy. And the part of the song, my favorite, Surrender Doesn't Come Easily to Me. I am a type A personality, and the kind of cancer I have is going to require monitoring before they actually say I need treatment. And I'm not the type of person that goes well with sitting around doing nothing. And I need to feel like I'm doing something productive and constructive. So what I really need to do is take better care of myself, make myself a priority, stay positive spiritually and physically and mentally. And so I thank you for your support and keeping me active. It's going to be one of those things where, you know, I'm on hold to my next visit. And then I'm a little stressed till I have my next test, and they tell me whether or not it's time to start treatment or not. So I really just enjoy my downtime in between. And just like with my brain tumor, it's like I have to go every year. And when the appointment gets scheduled, I get a little stressed. And I hold my breath, say a prayer, and then like, good till next year. And I prefer not to think about it too much in between and just enjoy life and just keep doing whatever my plan is to do it in the most positive way. Thanks.
Favorite joy, as all the colorful joys. I start on Friday, and I'm really excited. That's all. I'll miss you guys. You did a good job raising me.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it truly does. It really does.
Continued prayers for my youngest James, who's in Kuwait. And prayers for my middle child, Jonathan. He'd been in the Air Force Reserves and he got out. And now he's thinking about going back in active. So prayers for his decision process and all of that.
I have a movie-related joy. I have 2 terriers, And for the last week, we've been dog sitting a 14-month-old standard poodle who's delightful, energetic, and has claws the size of a bear, and a wolf you can hear down to the end of the street. And her companion, 6-year-old schnauzer. Okay. And I'm glad we got through the week. And they went home last night. Well, there's a second part, and only once did my neighbors down the street yell, "Shut up!"
For Michael, he has an enlarged lymph node that they'll be doing some testing.
Realize how many people have been sick this week. So this is for all of them. And it's not letting me share some.
And I will add another joy. Last week I asked you to pray for my leaders who arrived on Monday. We've done a week of leadership training, including bull riding. And jumping on those big red balls, which was a really bad idea. Just if somebody says to you, go do the baller thing, it'll be fun. It won't be. You envision yourself running across the big red balls, but that's not how it goes down. You go down. There's a little video of it. I showed it to somebody and they're like, well, that was really short. And I'm like, that's how it was. Like the first ball. Anyway, so we have opening worship tonight. And my leaders did great. We had an awesome week of training, and I have really good, strong leaders with very strong opinions. So I think it'll be good. And we have opening worship tonight, so just pray for us because there's just, they're very anxious about it too. They want it to be a success. So anything else? Light a candle for those concerns that we lose up. Let's pray. Gracious God, for the joys that you provide for us in our life, we give you thanks. We see you work in so many ways through our relationships and through our lives, through all that we do and say. You enter sometimes in grand ways and sometimes in little subtle ways that we may not even recognize, but we give you thanks for your presence and your love and your concern for us, for the way that you incorporate each one of us into your body. And we ask, oh God, that you would hear all of the concerns that we have lifted up this morning, concerns for our family and our friends, concerns for ourselves, our community, and our world. We lift them up and we put them in your care, oh God. And we ask that you would enable us to be your hands and your feet to those who need care most, that we would be able to show our love, to be able to show your love. We ask this all in your name. Amen. All right. We have opportunity now to respond to all of God's graciousness by the giving of our offerings. If you're a newcomer worshiping with us for the first time, please be our guest under no pressure, obligation, or own time. But y'all can sing.
Take your candle, go light your want to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. We are a family whose hearts are blazing. So let's raise our candles and light up the sky. Pray to our Father in the name of Jesus. Make us a beacon in darkest times. Carry your candle out to the darkness. Seek out the hopeless, deceive and poor. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Carry your candle out to the darkness. Seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world.
Let's bless our offering. Holy One, whose heart abounds with gifts, receive this offering as a sign of our intention to live surrounded by your mercy, inspired by your Spirit, open to the joy of your presence, hospitable to one another, and generous toward your world. Amen. Some announcements. There is a sign-up sheet back there still for those of you who maybe forgot to sign up for greeters and worship assistants and hospitality posts. And I add to that, we're looking for help over at the sound techie place. Look, Christine rose to the occasion. She's our first volunteer. They will train you. They provide excellent training, but we just want some people to kind of fill in this fall as we kind of rotate in and out, so we have some more people trained. Let's see, school supplies. Hopefully you put them in the bin out there or in the back of my car. If you forgot them at home, you can drop them off at my place this afternoon if you want. I will not be there to accept them, just put them on my deck. Or you can go directly to Compassion in Action and drop them off anytime before Tuesday. They will distribute them at their family fun night on Tuesday night. So there we go. Next week, Sunday, we continue with God in the movies. And here's the dealio. So this time, this year, we're doing God in the movies at the same time the campus is, which is kind of convenient for me. And what happens on campus is that on Tuesday night, before every Tuesday night, we watch the movie that we're going to talk about on Sunday. So you're welcome to come and watch the movie. I think I put somewhere maybe that it was going to be Brooklyn, but I lied. So next week, we're doing The Lady in the Van. So on Tuesday night at 7:30 at the Interfaith Center, if you want to watch The Lady in the Van, you are welcome. We serve popcorn and some beverages, so come on over if you want to do that. The next couple Sundays, next week is the blessing of the backpacks, not to be confused with the backpacks that we just gave away. This is the backpacks for our own children, youth, and adults who are returning to school. So if you are in education, bring your backpack or your book bag or anything, and we will bless you and your backpack next Sunday at worship. Then the following week is water worship. So hopefully you've collected your little vials of water. If not, it's not too late. You can still put some water in something and bring it to worship that Sunday. What else do I got happening here? Oh, Faith for a Fair New York is the conference that Emily is working on. Emily McNeil, our Minister for Social Justice. It's in Syracuse. If you want to catch a ride with me, even though it's a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I probably won't go out until Monday morning, but if you want to catch a ride with me, you can, and it's all about social justice and how you specifically can get involved. And then finally, we will be having another class for those interested in learning more about Journey or even possibly being a member. The sign-up sheet is there. If you want to sign up, do that today, because this week I'll send out an email to everybody who signed up, and we'll try to find a time that's convenient for all of us. Any others that I'm forgetting? Because I forget things sometimes. All right, stand on up. It's closing song time. From the gathered community to be ambassadors for Christ, to lift instead of to lead, to help instead of hinder. Let us go forth to claim a corner of the world for God, and may the Holy Spirit go with us and abide with us. Amen.